Okay, welcome to another video. Today it is freezing and we have had snow, it just hasn't laid. Thankfully I opened up the garage door and it's actually quite warm inside. Well, I say it's not snowing, it's just starting to snow again. Anywho, last week I ended up failing to do the lights on this side. Got those working, failed on this side. So I've bought more parts. We've got I don't know why I bought two, but I bought a pair of headlight plugs, even though that one is absolutely fine. I spoke to a friend of mine who had a spare sealed beam unit, which we tested, it works. It's not a Unipart one like the other one. So my OCD is going to go berserk with having one sealed beam unit saying Unipart and the other one not. I've also bought, not just a box of newspaper, a new indicator and side light unit. With luckily two coloured wires, not a single wire coming out and then going into all the colours under the sun before going into the loom. That should solve a lot of issues. And finally, I haven't bought a light unit. I've actually made, there we are, I've made some screws for it. I really wanted to buy screws. It's not too obvious what threads it has. I found the thread size for it. I think it was 1/4 BSP by 3/4 of an inch. You try finding them nowadays, not easy. Apparently they did change the screws as well, and I don't know which screws I need. So I had a rummage through a box of random screws and bolts, and I found some really long ones. So I've cut them up. I'm hoping to be able to mount the lights today, mount the rear lights today. Get them all wired in, and probably not knowing my luck and knowing this car, but fingers crossed, as soon as I plug them in and connect the wires under here, we should have rear lights as well. Like I said, I'm not holding out too much hope with that, but we will see. I'm not going to go through the whole process of replacing these lights because I went through it last week on that side, but we have lights on this side. They are not as bright as this side, so there's obviously a poor connection somewhere along the lines, but it's looking more ready for the road now. I'm going to turn the lights off now because my battery is definitely dying, and then we shall get the new rear lights on, get them wired in, and then tackle this little lot here. Well, I might do that first. Nah, let's get the rear lights on. We'll get the rear lights on first and then we'll tackle that little problem there. So these are my rear light units. 4 wires on each. So I'm going to be a bit careful because there's green and white wire, which is tail or brake light, and then the red light, which is tail or brake light. And then the green one is the indicator. So I don't want to get the two green ones mixed up. And what I'll do, so that I don't get it mixed up in the loom, is I'll do the indicator as either male or female, and I'll do the green and white wire, which is the brake or tail light, as the opposite one. That way when I come to plug it in the loom, can't get mixed up. Done that. Right, it is a week later. As you can see, it's sort of sunny outside and not snowing. It is absolutely freezing though. I had to stop last week for 2 reasons. Number 1, it was getting dark and I was cold. And number 2, I found out that I have, I don't want to blind you with my light. So I have one wiring loom coming through into the back. And it's supposed to split here, go across to the other side. And I haven't got that part of the loom. So I need supplies. I also ran out of bullet connectors, and so what I've done at work, I've sorted myself out with a load of wire and some new connectors. The other issue we've got in the back there is that you've got one loom coming in and it needs to split into 2. And I've ordered some of the, I'll show you, I don't know what they're called. I've ordered some of these, so you can have 2 wires going in the bottom, 2 wires coming out the top. The ones that I'm using on here, even those ones, are pretty rusty and not that great. So what I brought home for now is some of these like chalk blocks. Not a fan of using these, a bit like Scotch locks. They just seem like too much of a bodge to me, but for this they should work fine. So I've got plenty of those. I'm going to now get the rear lights wired in on both sides, get that wiring loom made up, and then I am going to come under the bonnet, and there it is down there. This is the loom coming from the rear lights. So I've only got, is it 5 wires to connect. There's another one there. So I've got 5 wires to connect there. They all go into there. So I've just got to join them up together, and then I should have rear lights as well as front lights. Right, that took a little bit longer than I thought, but we have wires in. Now the light units, I still haven't found the right screws or long enough screws to go in. The ones I made don't quite fit, they're a bit short. So I haven't done indicators either yet, because obviously they're not wide in. But we've got ground, which I've very poorly, temporarily tightened up underneath that bolt. Then we've got red, we've got brown and yellow wire going into the chalk blocks, which again, not totally happy with, but yeah, they'll do for now. So yeah, they're grounded out, and we've got tail lights and brake lights. I won't have brake lights working, I just wasn't sure which wires were which, so I figured I'd connect them both up. So the next job is to connect up the wires under the bonnet. So under here we are looking at taking these 5 wires, and we are basically going to just connect them to these 5 wires in the loom. I was going to get a proper connector for doing it, which I still would like to do. However, the box I had with connectors in seems to only be female connectors, so that's not really going to be any good for this. So I think it's probably going to be a case of more bullet connectors. Not ideal, but if it gets the car on the road, then that's the main thing, isn't it? So I shall now crack on with these. I think you'll agree, although it doesn't look great, it does look a lot better. Just got that last one to connect up. That's all connected up. Now, the moment of truth. Right. Hey, look at that. That is such a cool result. Yes, cool. Okay, and then on the front we got side lights. We should have, unless I've done something to stop them. Yeah, look, 2 side lights. Next video I'm probably going to do actually will involve tuning the carburetor. I think I've got a rebuild. I've got new gaskets for it, so I'm going to strip it all apart, clean it all up, rebuild it, tune it. Then it just brakes the interior. A few other little bits and pieces like, you know, interior light, the interior blower motor, but that'll make it drivable. Have a nice drivable Morris Minor. Be lovely by the summer. So as always, thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already and you've made it to the end of the video, please do hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.